On this episode, take care of your network. Hey everybody, this is The Quarter Show, and we're going to talk about taking care of your network. I was talking to Devin, one of our guys here, and he does a great job of this in terms of servicing your network and following them along. Let me just clarify, in terms of your network. So you have a customer, you have your customers, right? And you have a customer at, let's say you have a customer at IBM or whatever, at some company, and you have a contact. Let's say Sally Thompson at IBM, for example. You don't want to just be hooked into one person. You want to build out a network, right? You don't want to be hooked into one person. You want to build out a network. So your network is like Jim Peterson, Sally Thompson, John Marcus, whatever. Bunch of different people that you're dealing with, let's say at IBM, for example, and you've built out a network there. And you want to be dealing with a lot of people in there, and you want to sort of hunker in and build a relationship. And I know that word is kind of cliche, but one of the great points that Devin brought up, it was like he felt like saying things are cliche is kind of like negative propaganda on things that actually work, on things that are actually true. And it is true. You do need to build relationships. You need to build a network at each client, because if you rely on just one person at one company and that person leaves, you don't have that hook into that company, and you really are trying to build relationships with the actual company to company. Often, let's say Richter to IBM, for example, and it's also you have a relationship with Sally Thompson, but you also have a relationship with John Peterson and so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. So you build a network within your company, within your clients' companies, and this is really important. And here's why. Other divisions at those companies start asking for your services and asking for work, and it allows you to build out what you're doing. But also, if you do a good job of building your network and building the relationship, you can follow it along. So for example, one person maybe leaves that company and they go to another company, and you did great work at servicing them and taking care of them. They now left and they're now at HP or whatever, this other company in this other role, but you still have a relationship, right? And so now you start doing business with HP, with your contact, with your network in that company. So you're still doing business with IBM or whoever. And then now you're doing business with HP as well, with this person in that role. And you're building out that network. And now you're digging in a network there, you're digging in a network there, and it starts to multiply and expand. And that's just good business. It seems very common sense. But a lot of people don't do it, and they don't take care. Instead, they sort of treat it like this turn and burn thing. And they're not truly nurturing and taking care of their network the way they should, or building out their network, and they rely on one person. That person leaves. Let's say that person leaves or whatever. Things happen in business all the time. People move all the time. People change jobs. People get headhunted. People retire. Things happen all the time. And that person leaves, and now you have nothing. You have nothing with this company. You have nobody else knows you there, and you have nowhere to go. And then let's say you don't take care of your relationship very well, and that person leaves, and they don't do anything with you at the other company as well. You want to build a web of a network into the companies that you're doing business with, and then follow along your relationships, all relationships. Keep tabs with them, follow up, take care of them. And if you take care of them and you know them, you can follow them along anywhere. And it's not just like this impersonal thing. It's that you can actually track it and follow it all along. And if you do your job correctly, you can build a customer for life. You build customers for life. So you have 10 people at that company, and you continually do business, no matter where those people are, for life.
And whether you have, this is actually super duper important. And so if there is any feeling of I don't want to keep networks, or I don't want to, building relationships is cliche. You got to skip all that. This is one of the most important things that I don't know a lot about business. This guy's been around business a lot, so everything to me is new, and the things I observe and learn are new to me, because Richter's the first time I've ever been really involved in like the business world. So The thing is, though, is that whether you're transactional or whether you have services that you do regular charge for, the only way to, in my observation, limited as it is, the way to grow a business is you have to keep a client base. And if you don't, and even if, no matter if you're transactional or otherwise, like Richter is one of our major service of video is transactional. So to the degree that clients don't come back to us is the degree that we're going to have challenges growing and expanding, right? As a salesperson, because you have to get the same number of transactions from your client base and then build above it with new prospects and new clients and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's part of how you could grow. It's not just sheer math that way, but like linear math or something, but it's a lot like that. So to the degree, with your sales team specifically, you have to really get into their minds that they need to follow up with and take the minutes of the day that it takes to follow up with clients, make sure that they're doing well in terms of what they're being delivered and getting their product delivered to them, and then already start putting into their minds what's coming next and have them start giving ideas to their client base. Yeah. Probably 80% of the business I bring in for Richter is re-sign, is people coming back for more. And this is it's a new experience for me seeing it, and I'm seeing it happen, and it's like, oh, that's how I'm going to grow my numbers from year to year, is by really servicing my clients.
Yeah, just even for them, both for you and for them, but it's like taking care of your network and obviously re-signing them and different things like that and doing more business. And
yeah, it's not just a self-interested thing.
No, but it's,
to put it that way.
No, yeah, but it's a good quality control point. You know that you're doing good work if they keep coming back and you build out the network and you talk to other people and you're dealing with other people internally. You know you're doing good work. You know on the quality control front, you have nothing to report to production, or if it's not there, you probably do have something to report to production or service or product or whatever, right? There's something wrong happening, right? If you're not building your network, you're not getting that re-sign, you're not getting more business, you're not following along, there's something wrong on the product side of things.
And you will get a tortured sales team with a lot of turnover if that's happening.
And you will.
It's going to be rough.
The only way to really go, and I don't care what product you sell, I don't care if it's a SaaS platform, I don't care if it's a transactional, I don't care if it's a subscription or retainer model or whatever. You have to, if you want to go big, you've got to build your network and you got to build relationships. And the truth is, that's what the client needs anyway. Most people, the best business is built on relationships that are recurring and keep happening. And again, if you play your cards right, and you really do a good job of building your network and building those relationships and following not just one person in a company, but multiple people in those companies, and then following those people along no matter where they go, whether they go to 3, 4, 5 companies, which we have a couple clients, for example, we did business with a couple companies where there was multiple different contacts within those companies that we did a good job of building relationships with, and it's rippled out to like 3, 4 other accounts at other companies just from the one company that they were with. We've now followed all those relationships, and so that one account, that one company has now multiplied into 4, 5, 6 different companies and people that we're now doing business with, building networks into those other companies, and you start spreading out. And I think that a lot of salespeople are weak in this area. I think that, the nature of selling is like we're always busy. We're always trying to sell to people in front of us. We're always just frantic and just trying to get things done. But not enough work is going into going deep and building a network, building the relationship, doing the work that's required to go and drive that network and take really good care of your customers, right? Take really good care of them, service them. Not fake. Make it authentic, actually take care of them, actually give a damn, and actually service them, and actually make a point to know other people within those companies, know what the company's doing, follow the news and different things like that, and then follow where they go. For example, like with this one company I'm thinking about, I notified one of our VP sales that, hey, I don't know if you know this, but so-and-so and so-and-so is no longer at this company. They're now over here. Ping them now, follow up and find out where they're at. And he did, in fact, and then it resulted in this other major company and this other major thing, and he sort of tracked the customer. He sort of stalked. You have to stalk to some degree. It sounds funny, but stalk and follow them along, right? Follow them along, because otherwise people forget about you. And it's up to you to follow them along and see where they're at and say, hey, I see that you're at so-and-so now. How's things happening over there? Do you need anything? Do you need the same thing? And often they'll be thinking, if you did a good job at the other company, they'll be thinking, absolutely, I'm going to need that at this new company. Thanks for reaching out. And so your network is vitally important. You have to really drive it home. and keep working to build it out, and keep working to learn other people there. Who else is there? Because a lot of people, also in sales, a lot of people will try and stop you from talking to other people. You kind of that one contact, like, I'm your contact, don't call other people. But it's like
human oddity, whatever.
Yeah, they're gonna like try and barricade you to some degree, but that's not the right play. You need to know multiple people at that company. You need to build a relationship, build network within, so you're not just reliant or dependent on maybe one major contact, and it's nothing against them at all, but you need to do a good job of building inroads at each company that you do business with, and then build relationships with not just one, but everybody. And from there, you can follow it along and chase things down and build it out. Obviously, all the time, working to service them with your product or service. If you believe in your product or service, and obviously all of this is all fundamental to believing in your product and service and believing in what you do and ensuring that they actually do need it and you're not just jamming things down people's throats. But let's say that is all in order and you're delivering a high quality product, all this stuff, then you have to, right? You have to make it known as far and wide and as deep as you possibly can, and make those relationships, and then follow them as you go, and that way you'll have an abundance, and you'll have a huge network, and you'll have this sort of multiplying pipe to some degree, or client base, or whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of a whole other topic we could touch on. I guess we'll leave it for now. But the first sale is to sell yourself, and to the degree that you or yourself are sold, then you can make inroads all over the place. That's why when somebody tries to box you into a certain, like, please don't contact other people, if you are so sold on the service and product you're going to deliver to the company, to the CEO, the CFO, the COO,
you have to
make those inroads.
That is so insanely important, by the way. And just as a side note, you have to be completely convicted. You have to, and I know it goes without saying, it seems like such a commonsensical thing, but a lot of people aren't.
Yeah.
A lot of people are, it's fake, it's false, and they're maybe they say, oh, I am. It's like, are you? You know? Because if you're truly and utterly sold on the product or service, then you don't have any reservations or considerations or back off.
Yeah.
Right? About going to these different areas. You just don't, because like in your mind, they just need it. Like 100%. This is the logical same thing to do. And I can think about a lot of products outside of Richter, outside of what we do, that I'm completely and utterly sold on. I think we have some drilling happening here. Completely and utterly sold on. Like other products, there's things that I just absolutely love. Companies and products and things like that. And it's very easy to talk about those products or services, and I can talk to anybody about them.
Yeah.
And you have to be that way with your product. Otherwise, all this other information, the stuff we go over on the show and different things like that, pointless if you're not there. So
yeah, a guy for the Mariners came in the other day and whatever, and he was selling special ticket price things like that. And I was like, to Robert, I was like, look, if you even plan on even possibly going to a game this year with your family, you need to get this. Like, if you even think you might go, this is worth that investment. Rob's like, oh, okay, well, let me get that. I was so convicted, right? I happen to enjoy the Mariners games, and I bought this ticket package thing myself and stuff like that. But, you have to sell yourself first, and then it's very easy to
100%.
sell somebody else on it. It's inevitable.
Got the tickets.
Yeah.
Anyway, hope that helps, and, we'll have more coming at you soon. We have more episodes. Feel free to add comments and things like that in the YouTube thing. You can add comments, ask questions for different shows and different ideas that you want to talk about, or on Twitter as well, at thequarter show, #thequarter, and don't forget to like the show and subscribe to the channel. Yeah. Okay? Thanks so much.